I recently watched the documentary on the band, the Go-Go's. Has anybody seen that? Or hopefully you remember the band from the 80s, but the story of the Go-Go's is kind of the story of so many bands where they get together, they are all excited, they learn their instruments, they write songs, they work hard, they go out on tour, they have all sorts of problems, and then they, make it big. They have, if they're lucky, a #1 hit. The Go-Go's had a bunch of #1 hits, a lot of success. And then after around the third album, the band fell apart. And the Jane Wiedlin, one of the guitar players, said that she didn't learn anything from all the great success that they had. She learned a lot from the failures of the band. And isn't that the truth? That we can have a lot of success and we think, I'm learning things, but it's really once things don't go the way that we plan that we really learn. Pema Chodron says that whatever is happening is the path to enlightenment. So that's important to remember when things are not going so well. So today on our mats, I want us to think about if you encounter a pose today that's difficult for you or has just bedeviled you for a while, try to see it as a learning opportunity. Sometimes it's just that our body does not want to make that particular shape. Or sometimes we have an old or current injury that doesn't allow us to make that particular shape. But that is feedback for us to learn more about our bodies. The things that are really easy, the poses that come really easy for us, we don't necessarily learn that much about our body and mind connection or about ourselves. So whatever is happening is the path to enlightenment. So if the whole class goes just like, wee, for you, great. But if you have a few moments that are like, whoa, those are real learning opportunities. And let's take those in as such and not think of them as failures, but as an opportunity to take that next step to the enlightenment, the path to enlightenment. Find your seat that's comfortable for you and close your eyes. Take a moment to feel both sides of your breath, the inhale and the exhale. Success and failure, two sides of the same coin. Inhale and exhale, two sides of the same coin. Each part leads us along. Each part does have something to teach us, although we might learn more from the harder parts. Bring your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra and make your commitment to really pay attention in your practice. When things are easy or easier, we have a tendency to check out and just sail along. When things get harder is when we really start to tune in and when we really can learn more and advance along our path to enlightenment. Release your hands down and then rise up a little bit taller in your seat. Pull your shoulders back, lift up through the crown of your head. Feel that your spine is long and that your heart is open to whatever comes for you in the practice today. Open your eyes and let's get moving. We're going to start on all fours, but a little bit different on all fours. Bring your knees together and the insides of your feet together and tuck your toes under. If you are playing music, now's the time to press play on that. I've got a link to the playlist I made in the chat if you want to join that. And then find that quadruped position on the mat, knees together, soles of the feet together, toes tucked under. Take a couple of breaths here, and then start taking cat pose and cow pose. Just getting accustomed to moving with your breath. Cat on your exhale and cow on your inhale. Having a little microphone difficulty. Hang in here with me just a little bit longer and I'll get it sorted out. There we go. That should be better. Okay, I'm with you now. So come into cat pose again, round the back, and then sit back over your heels. So your knees, your ankles, or maybe your feet won't allow you to sit all the way back. And then come into cow pose. Start to bring your shoulders forward, coming back up, reaching back through the tailbone, reaching forward through your face, and then exhale, reach back through your tailbone, sit back over your heels, take a cat pose here. You want a lot of weight over your feet. And then inhale, come up to cow, hips lifting off the heels. And then one more time, reach the hips back, take a cat pose here. And then we're gonna start to walk the hands back. So everybody's a little bit different here. Maybe you can stack your shoulders over your hips with your toes tucked under. If that's not working for your feet, you can put the tops of the feet on the floor. If that's not working for your knees, then you can stand on your knees here. So just find the place where you can get your shoulders over your hips. And then take your hands around behind your back, interlace your fingers. Let your chin come down towards your chest, and then press your one fist that you made closer towards the floor. Stretching across the back of the neck. Keep the hands reaching down towards the floor, hands are still interlaced, and then take your chin from one shoulder to the next. If you've got your toes tucked under and your hips over your heels, you're really getting a nice stretch through those feet. If that doesn't work for your feet, just find the position that works for you. Bring your head to neutral and then lift your chin up. Keep pressing the hands down. Lift your chest up, lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, unlace the fingers, bring the hands back down to the mat. Release the feet, maybe wiggle those toes around a little bit. And now downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose, in downward dog, and then a long exhale through your mouth. Take your feet a little bit wider apart. And then start to take both heels to the right. And then both come to the middle, and then both heels to the left. And then go back and forth. Just trying to get a little extra length through the backs of the legs, but also pivoting around on the feet. And then bring your heels to the middle. Inhale, right leg back and up behind you, bend your knee and twist open. And then circle that right foot around 3 times in one direction.
And then 3 times in the other direction. Inhale, stretch your leg back, and on your exhale, just lower it down to the mat. Second side, inhale, lift your left leg back and up, bend your knee, twist open, and then circle your foot around 3 times one way, 3 times the other way. And then stretch your leg back, lower your foot down to the mat, and then walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Stand in forward bend. Let your head hang down, move it around a little bit. Keep the forward bend, take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift the tops of your shoulders away from the floor, and then start to bring your hands away from your back, gently opening across the shoulders, and also getting more weight coming forward increases the stretch in the back body. Bring your hands to your hips. And then as you inhale, rise up, stand upright, and bring your hands to your heart. Remember our commitment to pay attention in the high and in the low, to learn the lessons as we step forward on our own paths to enlightenment. Moving with breath. Inhale, take both arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, fan your arms out to the sides and down, forward bend, fold in. Inhale, lengthen forward halfway, belly is taut here. Exhale, downward facing dog, hands at the front of your mat, feet at the back. Inhale into plank pose. Use your exhale to lower to chaturanga. Yeah, and then inhale, cobra, lift up just a little cobra here, and then lower back down to your mat. Bring your left forearm across the front of your mat. So left elbow right underneath the left shoulder, and then left forearm is parallel to the front of your mat. Keep your belly lifting, bend your right knee, reach back with your hand or a strap and hug your right heel in towards your hip. Take your gaze forward. Isometrically pull that left forearm back towards your chest and reach your chest forward. So you're getting a little back bend in the upper back and a quad stretch at the same time. Exhale, release, stretch your leg back. Bring your arms out to a T. Bend your right knee and then lift that right foot up and lower the sole of the right foot off the left side of your mat. With your right hand, really inch those right fingers out to the right. Try to get the right side of your chest closer to the floor. At the same time, you're trying to point the right kneecap up towards the ceiling. Inhale, roll back to your belly. And now bring the right elbow underneath the right shoulder, right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. With a strong belly, bend the left knee, reach back with the left hand, grab your foot, hug your heel in towards your hip. And again, to accentuate the back bend, isometrically draw that right forearm back towards your ribs or your chest, and then bring your chest forward, take your gaze forward. And then exhale, release, bring your arms out to a T. Bend your left knee so the left foot is straight up in the air, and then take the left foot off the right side of your mat, trying to point the kneecap up towards the ceiling, and really inching those left fingers out a little bit more. Yeah, inhale, roll on back to your belly. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, maybe a little bit farther back. Get them in chaturanga place for you. Tuck your toes under. Strong belly, strong legs, strong upper back. Take a breath in, a little breath out, lift into chaturanga. Full breath out, plank, and then back to downward dog. Lift the hips up and back behind you. On your inhale, lift your right leg high to the sky behind you, one leg dog. Exhale, knee into nose, pull it in tight, and then plant that right foot up between your hands. Inhale, high crescent pose. Take both arms up overhead and maybe lower your hips down a little bit. And then hook your hands together. So you're going to bring your hands above your head. Hands will be, fingers will be connected like this, right above your head. Elbows flaring out to the sides. Take a breath in as you exhale, arc over to the right. Right elbow dipping towards the floor, left elbow pointing towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, dip to the left. Inhale, come back up. Take both arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, circle your arms out wide, bring them behind your back, interlace your fingers. Now spin your back heel to the floor. On an exhale, humble warrior, fold forward. And bring your hands away from your back. Let your head hang down. Deep breaths here as you shoulder open and hip open. And then release your hands down. Bring your right arm to the inside of the right foot and take that right foot a little bit wider towards the long side of your mat. Bring your back foot in about an inch. We'll see if you're going to need more. Walk the left hand forward. You'll be on those left fingertips. With that right arm on the inside of the right leg, reach back and grab on the inside of your left leg. So right hand is grabbing on the inside of your left leg and straighten the right leg. So you might need to walk that back foot in a little bit. Right hand can grab anywhere on the inside of the leg, maybe higher up, maybe down around the ankle. And then inhale, release. Bring your hand back to the outside of your leg. And then take lunge here, bend into the front knee, connect your right ribs to your right thigh, and then exhale, straighten and fold over the leg. Inhale, bend back into the knee. Exhale, straighten. One more time, bend into the knee. And exhale, straighten. Okay, I lied about that. This is the last time. Bend into the knee and now twist. Take your right arm up into the air, stack the right shoulder over the left. And you might even take that right hand behind your back and grab the front of the left hip, twisting around. And then inhale, release, hands down to the mat. It's time to flow. You can take a one leg vinyasa or two leg. With one leg, you lift that right leg high behind you. Two leg, you keep both feet on the ground. Of course, vinyasas can be skipped if that feels better for you. From downward facing dog, inhale, left leg back and up behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Hug the knee in and then plant your foot up at the top of your mat. High crescent pose. Back heel is lifted. Rise up. Both arms up overhead and maybe lower your hips down just a little bit. So we'll hook the hands over the head again, put the other hand on top. If you don't remember, then just change hands because we usually always grab the same way. Deep breath in here, exhale, arc over to the left. Left elbow dips towards the floor, right elbow points up. Really try to get strong in that back leg. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, arc to the right. Inhale, back up, both arms high up overhead. And then as you exhale, circle them back behind you and down, interlace, other thumb on top this time. Spin your back heel to the floor. And on your exhale, humble warrior, fold inside your left leg. And when you're ready, bring your hands away from your back. As you inhale, release the hands down to the floor on the inside of that left leg and work the left leg a little bit farther out to the left. Bring the back foot in. So start small and then you might have to bring it in more. Take the left hand between the legs, reach back and grab the inside of the right leg. As you're doing that, you'll start to work the left leg straight and walk those right fingers out in front, closer towards the front of your mat. And then inhale, release. Left hand on the outside of the left leg. Come into lunge here. Back heel is lifted. Connect your left ribs with the top of your left thigh. And then on an exhale, straighten the left leg, fold down into it. Inhale, bend your knee, look forward. Exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, bend and look forward. Exhale, straighten and fold. And this time when you bend, stay right here. Put a little weight into that right hand. Take the left arm up in a twist. Really pull that left shoulder back. And then maybe you take that left hand around behind your back for a little bind, grabbing the front of the right hip maybe. And then inhale, release, hands down to the mat. Time to flow again. One leg dog or regular downward dog is your base to flow from. Good morning, Molly. Glad you're here. Yeah, you're looking good. From downward dog, look up at the front of your mat and take a bunch of steps to get your feet forward, or 2 big steps, maybe 1 hop, and then fold over your legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So if you need to maneuver around where you can see me, I want to show you the twisting we're going to do in chair pose. So watch me. We'll come into chair, arms up overhead, and then take the arms around to the side. This is the twist, and then back up, and then twist to the second side and up. So we'll do this 5 times. We'll start taking the hands to the right and we'll end with the hands to the right. So the challenge here is, as your arms are swinging, not to do this with your legs. Try to stay low the whole time and not pump up and down. Okay, here we go. Hands to your heart. Breath in, take a chair pose. One more breath in. As you exhale, take your hands to the right, twisting right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right and up. Last time to the left and up. Swing to the right and then bring your hands together. Pressure right elbow towards the ceiling. Twisting in chair, and then inhale, release. Hands down to the floor, straighten your legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, take your vinyasa, planting your hands. You might even jump into chaturanga from here, or simply step back. Find breath to take you through. And remember, it's easy to check out in this flow that you've done so many times that you really have down. So really pay attention to each part. From downward facing dog, inhale, right leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg back and up. This time, knee to nose, and then plant your right foot at the top of your mat. Come up to warrior 2. So we're going to do something different with this front arm. Turn the palm to face back behind you, and then bring the back of your hand to your low back. You're going to point that right elbow forward and take a variation of side angle pose. So elbow comes down to the top of the thigh. Some of you will bring the elbow in front of the thigh, and then that left arm comes right over your ear. Side angle pose variation. Inhale, lift up, release that front arm, reverse triangle pose. Inhale, back to warrior two. You can do that same half bind with the front arm that we did, or come into a fully bound side angle pose, reaching that right arm in front of the right leg, pulling your top shoulder back. Inhale, release, reverse triangle pose again. Inhale, come up, regular triangle pose. Right fingers down, left fingers up. Inhale, lift up, reverse triangle again. Inhale, lift up, this time half moon pose. Right foot and right fingers support you. Everything else lifts up and away. Half moon sugar cane, bend your back knee. Reach back with the left hand, grab your foot. And once you find the foot, push the foot away from your hip, draw your shoulder back, let your heart move forward. Inhale, release, grounded warrior three. So all fingers on the floor, square the hips up, left leg reaches straight back behind. Take a breath in here as you exhale, revolved half moon pose. So keep the left fingers down, lift the right fingers to the sky, draw the right shoulder back. Maybe even take your gaze up past the right hand. We've got one more pose to add in here. Bend your left knee, reach back with the right hand. See if you can grab your foot, revolved half moon, sugar cane pose. It's a lot. And then exhale, release, hands down to the mat, step back into lunge. Flow time again, one leg dog flow or two. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Bring your feet to the top of your mat. Again, walking, a couple of big steps, maybe a hop or a handstand up to the top of your mat. Fold over your legs and chair pose. And then stand up tall at the top here. Reinforce the strength in your abdomen. Reinforce the lengthening down of your tailbone, and then take a back bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll start the second side here. So it starts with that swinging chair. This time the arms will go to the left first. 5 times we'll swing the arms around. So first, start in a regular chair. Breath in, exhale, arms go to the left. Inhale, back up overhead. Exhale, right. Inhale, up. Exhale, left. Inhale, up. Last time to the right. Inhale, up. Take your arms to the left and then bring your hands to prayer. Revolve chair, working the twist here. And then inhale, release. Hands to the mat, straighten the legs, fold down into them. Inhale, lengthen forward halfway, and then we will meet each other in downward dog. You decide how you want to get there. Maybe it's a step back and a lot of breaths. On your inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg back and up. This time, knee to nose, and then plant your foot between your hands. Come up to warrior two. We'll take that half bind with the front hand. So turn the left palm to face behind you. Bend at the elbow, back of the hand on your low back or hip, and then lean forward, elbow to the thigh, top arm comes over your ear, side angle pose, variation. Stretch out through that left side, right side. And then inhale, release everything. Come up to reverse triangle pose. Inhale, lift back up, bend back into the front knee, and you decide how you want to bind here. Maybe you take the full bind, left arm in front of the left leg, drawing both shoulders back. We'll come back to the half bind. Inhale, release, reverse triangle pose. Inhale, come up, regular triangle pose. Left fingers down, right fingers up. And then inhale, lift up. One more reverse triangle. It's the last one of the whole practice. Inhale, lift up, bend into your front knee, half moon pose. Left foot and left fingers on the floor. Use your strong core to help hold you up here. And then half moon sugar cane. Bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand, grab your foot, and then push your foot back into your hand. Let your chest move towards the wall. And then inhale, release. 10 fingertips on the floor for grounded warrior 3. So stretch that right leg back and square the hips up. Again, strong core is going to help you with the balance. Revolved half moon pose. Right fingers stay down, left fingers, left shoulder lift up. Try to keep that right leg lifted too. And then final piece, bend the back knee, reach back with your hand, grab your right foot, twist, open. There's a lot happening here. Maybe you can learn something from it. And then exhale, release. Right foot to the back of the mat, hands at the front, and then take your flow here, one leg or two leg. All right, friends, bring your feet up to the top of your mat. We've got one more chair pose in this practice. Lower the hips down, lift the arms, and then stand all the way up. Take another standing back bend. Remember, front of the body, torso, protects the low back, maybe a little squeeze into the glutes as you back bend. And then inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, take both arms up. Exhale, float down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen out. I'll meet you in downward facing dog. I can see you moving with intention here. From downward dog, lunge your right foot to the top of your mat, however you want to get it up there. We'll lunge the right foot up, and then we'll lower the back knee to the ground. We're going to be on this knee a while. If you want to pad it. As you inhale, take that right arm forward and then circle it back behind you. Bend the left knee, reach back with the right hand, grab the inside of the left foot. Put a little weight into that left hand. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bow on the inside of your right leg, bringing the left heel with you. Inhale, lift up. Push your left foot into your right hand. Twist, look back past your right foot. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift up. Push the foot back into the hand. 1 more time. Exhale, go low. And then inhale, lift up and twist. And then gently release your foot. Let it come down to the mat. Lift your back knee off the ground. And then straighten your front leg, fold into it. Bend back into your right knee. Walk your hands a little bit forward, standing splits. Right leg straightens as the left foot reaches up for the sky. This is a tough one, so don't think about it. If you're not in perfectly vertical splits, if your left leg is farther down, it's not a failure. It's an opportunity here for feedback from your body, for listening, for learning. And then as you exhale, step back gently into a lunge. Lower your back heel to the ground. Bring your right arm on the inside of the right leg. Grab with your palm right behind the shin, just below the knee. Push the shin forward and see if you can get your shoulder down low. And then plant your hands. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Hip opening. And then we'll move into an arm balance from here. It's called one leg crow pose version 2. So keep your hands where they are. You're going to step that back foot forward. So those left toes are going to point out at about a 45-degree angle. You want the left foot to come far enough forward that you can connect that left leg to the outer left arm and squeeze in. So think about lifting that left heel up, squeezing in here, looking forward, lower your hips, both elbows are bent. Now we're gonna try to lift one or both feet. Maybe you get that right leg stretching out in front, or maybe you keep the right foot down, lean forward and pick up your left foot. Maybe you get both going at the same time. You got to squeeze those inner thighs in to get this pose to work. Front leg stretching out in front, back heel lifting up towards your hip, and you're squeezing those inner thighs in. Good job. Yeah, I see those feet floating up. And if you fell down, that's all part of the learning, right? If this were just an easy pose, we wouldn't learn anything from it. All right, let's come to stand at the front of the mat. Hands to your heart, mountain pose. Last flow, second side, here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen out. Make your way to downward dog. From downward dog, lunge your left foot to the front of your mat, however you want to get it there. And then we'll lower the back knee down. Put a pad under that knee if that feels good for you. And then as you inhale, take your left arm forward, take it up towards the ceiling. And then as you reach it back, bend your right knee, reach back and grab your foot. Put a little weight into that right hand. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, bow down inside the left leg. Inhale, lift up, push your foot back into your hand and look back past your right foot. Exhale, bow, fold in. Inhale, lift and twist. One more time, exhale, go low. And then inhale, lift up, push your foot away, and now gently release the foot. Let it come down to the ground. Hands on either side of the front leg. Lift your back knee up, and then straighten the front leg. Fold into it. And then bend back into your left knee, standing splits. Walk the hands a little farther forward. Balance just on the left foot. Take the right leg up into the air. Listen to what your body has to say here. Maybe it's saying, get me out of here. Okay, we'll do that. Come back down into lunge. Walk your Left arm on the inside of the left leg. Take your hand behind the shin, push the shin forward, get your shoulder low, and then bring your hands down to the mat. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths for the hip opener. And now we are ready for one leg crow pose version 2. So the left foot and the hand stay right where they are. You're going to step that right foot forward and turn the toes out to the side, and that right knee points out to the side. Squeeze the right inner thigh onto the right arm, then the elbows, lower your hips down. So you're perched here, ready to take flight. You can take it with one foot and then the other, or maybe both feet at the same time. Maybe you take that left leg and stretch it out in front and lower back down. Maybe you get your weight coming more forward and then you can pick that right foot up. Maybe both at the same time. I'm not lifting up today because of my shoulder, but I'll get back there. Oh yeah, that's it. I see air under those feet. Good job. We're going to come down to a seat when you're done with all that. Knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Stretch your arms out in front and lean back a little bit so you can get your shins off the ground. So we're in a variation of boat pose. As you inhale, stretch out long, hovering above the mat. Exhale, pull in, maybe your fingers touch the outer edges of your feet. 9 more times. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Halfway there, inhale, go low, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more. There's 1. Last one. Lift up, soles of the feet together. Sit up tall. Grab onto the base of the shins, lift the chest up, and then exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift back up, soles of the feet on the mat, kneecaps pointing up towards the ceiling. Stretch the arms out in front. Boat pose variation. Again, 10 times. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Don't rush it too much. Just follow the rhythm of your breath. That's halfway there. Now 3 more. Then 2 more. Last one. Come up, cross at the shins, sit up tall, and then exhale, bow forward, reach the arms out in front. Inhale, sit back up, change the cross of the shins, other one in front, and then exhale, bow forward again. Inhale, lift back up, soles of the feet on the floor, roll onto your back. So we'll take dynamic bridges from here. So this is bridge pose, but the arms are going to lift up as the hips lift up. So start out by stretching your arms out long by your sides, palms down. Draw your shoulder blades towards one another on your back. And keep the back of the head pressing into the floor. You want that steady pressure the whole time. As you inhale, lift your hips. Keep the hips lifted. Take the arms up and then take the arms overhead, backs of the hands onto the floor. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, hips and hands touch the floor at the same time. 4 more. Inhale, lift. Keep the hips lifted as the arms reach back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, everything touches down together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, everything down. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Last one, really lift those hips up. Keep the back of the head down. Take the arms overhead. Lift the arms back up and then lower everything down together. From here, we'll come into shoulder stand. So if shoulder stand is not your pose, you can take any inversion that you want. You're on your own for those other inversions. If shoulder stand bothers your neck, but you want to get that lift from here, you can take your legs up. Maybe if you have a wall, you turn so that your legs are at the wall. You can get an inversion lift that way. Or come into shoulder stand, lifting the legs up, bringing your upper arms onto the ground, palms supporting your low back as it lifts up. Think about squeezing those inner legs towards one another and reaching up from the inner legs towards the sky. Don't let all the weight be in your hands pushing your hips up. Use some of your core strength to get that internal lift. Back of the head stays pressed into the earth. You're looking great. If you want plow pose, you can start to take those feet over your head towards the floor. And then start to roll down. We'll take a fish pose. So as your hips come down, wedge your hands under your outer hips and then bring the legs down. One variation of fish is to keep the legs lifted a little bit and then lift the chest some point between the back and the top of your head on the floor. Or you can bring your feet all the way down to the ground, squeezing those inner elbows towards one another, opening across the front of the torso. And then exhale all the way down, release the hands from underneath your hips, and then hug your knees into your chest and rock over your back. Put the sole of your left foot on the ground, press your right heel into the air, and maybe walk your hands up your leg. So hold on where it feels right for you. You might grab the foot. If you have a strap, you can also use the strap here. And then if it feels right for you, stretch that left leg out long. Try to keep that left leg awake, left toes and kneecap pointing towards the ceiling. And then bend your right knee, half happy baby pose, right knee towards the floor, right hand grabbing on the foot. Foot is gently pushing into the hand, hand is pulling the foot down. And then release the foot and twist. Take your right arm out to the right, take your right knee to the left. Inhale, bring your right knee back up, sole of the right foot on the floor. Bring the left knee in and then press the left heel up towards the ceiling as you straighten the left leg and start walking your hands up your leg. So you're not having to hold any balance here. This is really a time when you can listen to the back of the leg. We've done some back of the leg lengthening today, but in this position particularly, you can really listen to how far is far enough for you. And you might even straighten that right leg out. If you do, remember to keep that right leg active. Don't let it just relax. You'll get a deeper stretch and a more integrated, safer stretch if you keep both legs active here. Half happy baby. Bend that left knee, draw it down towards the floor on the outside of your rib cage. And then a twist. Take your left arm out to the left and take your left knee to the right. Okay, inhale, bring your leg up. Hug both knees in this time, rock over your back. And our final pose before Shavasana is a full happy baby. So reach up, grab onto your feet, draw those knees down towards the floor. Maybe a little rocking back and forth. And then exhale, release. Stretch your legs out long. It's time for Shavasana. So take a few moments to set yourself up for a nice Shavasana. That might mean putting on a shirt or jacket, maybe covering yourself with a blanket, maybe covering your feet. And once you're set up there in your position, turn your palms up towards the sky. Maybe inch those hands away from your hips a little bit more, giving yourself a little extra space. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Slowly let it go through your mouth. If that felt really good and you want another one of those, take another one on your own. Or two, however many feels right for you. And eventually come back to just an easy, natural breath. You don't have to think about this breath. Let it just flow in and flow out. As you're settled in here, take a moment to honor your body and honor your mind for their ability to connect, for their ability to move you through postures, to move you through life, both the high and easy parts and the low and hard parts. All of them are part of our path to enlightenment. Invite a longer breath in, and then allow it to gently leave. With your next longer breath, stretch your arms overhead, reach your legs long, stretch your body out top to bottom. And then on an exhale, roll to your right side. Take a moment here to honor your practice, to honor those poses that come easy for you, and to honor those poses that are harder, the teachers. Those are your teachers, those poses. And then start to press yourself up to a seat. And once you're set up in your seat, close your eyes and bring your hands to your heart. I hope as you go through this day, through this week, that you're able to really look at and accept the beauty, the gift in the hard times, and the ease, the beauty in those easy times as well. Let's take a moment to join our energy together and send it to those who are in need, to those who are hurting, to those who are helping those in need. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.